Hello? Hello?
Totally new material. This is real.
First time only.
No, it's different from any of the records you've ever heard before. Totally new material.
The show.
Well, we did in a way. Everybody here in Pittsville and the Tri-Color.
The official opening was... Oh, I didn't hear.
You had your earphones off.
Oh, darn.
You see?
Darn technocracy.
It's technocracy every time. We'll get you in the ears.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce... Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, say less. For them haters that think this shit ain't for real. Yeah.
365, man.
No.
Found out people don't know about it. Nevertheless, I know a lot of things that people don't know. I thought they already knew. But then I came to find out they don't know. So when I'm talking about music, I'm not just talking about musicians playing an instrument. Anything is music. You take like a beautiful picture that an artist paints, that's music. Anything that has symmetry to it, and when you look at it, it makes you feel it, is music. Because that's what music is all about, feeling.
Should tell you a lot. Should tell you a hell of a lot.
Turn me up, son. I build more than them workers on construction sites.
Will you listen to me?
Chase that fatty, get big face, yeah, let's get ready. So heavy, so cold, might wanna grab that pelly already. Yes, ready for the streets, turn it up, so heavy on the beat. Ready for the streets, turn it up, so heavy on the beat. Yeah.
Rather just sit back and roll a Dutch. Think about how I'ma put the game in the Cobra clutch. Rather just sit back and roll a Dutch. Rather just sit back and roll a Dutch. Just gotta feel the kid, if not rap for the fact of how rarely he is. What up?
We'd like you to listen closely now to some beautiful music.
Hello, and welcome to today's stream. Is January 8th of 2022. We're going to continue where we left off with the Watchalong. We're going to do 3 more episodes. Today's stream might not be 2 hours. It might be, it's all up in the air. I think with 3 episodes, it probably won't be exactly 2 hours. But yeah, we're doing episodes 4, 5, and 6. In case you're unaware, let me switch screens. Actually, no, I'll do it here. In case you're unaware of what's happening. No, I will switch screens. Fuck it. In case you're unaware of what's happening, we're basically watching the animated Cowboy Bebop series together. You guys have to have it on one screen and have Twitch open on the other, and I do the same. Basically, it just is we're watching it at the same time. It's a form of content I've seen other people do. I thought it was interesting given the pandemic. Kind of makes it more, feels when you're watching a show that it feels like there's more people. I guess it's pleasant to a lot of people. I don't know if we'll keep doing it. It's a really easy form of content, I will admit. We have been playing Project Zomboid a lot lately. We probably will play a little bit more of that next week. I thought it would just be appropriate to do episodes 4 through 6 because we made the graphics together in a previous stream, so we have them. So I thought we might as well go through them. I also have to rewatch the series anyways for a review and for another thing that I'm putting together, so I need to watch it anyways. Other than that, of course, all the VODs for this week, majority of the VODs are going to be uploaded. The watch-along VODs are not going to be uploaded because there isn't enough content there for me to want to keep it. I think the format works fine. I don't need to upload it to YouTube. Same with the editing streams. I don't think I'll upload those to YouTube either. However, all of the Project Zomboid streams we did this week on the past few days, we're going to continue doing those into the new week. Next week is going to be a little bit weird because I'll be starting up some school and work again. So I might get very busy, but the streams shouldn't be halted. They should be able to continue going. Tuesday is the only one I show any level of concern for. That might be shifted to a Wednesday. Thursday streams are fine, and Saturday streams are fine. I apologize, I'm a little bit sniffy today. No, it's bothering me as per usual. Other than that, of course, I think we're all good. I mean, start off, I'm going to turn Jippy a little bit so you have just a little bit of him to hear in the background, other than just me and nothing else. Of course, we're watching episodes 4 through 6 today. If you want to listen to your best friend Jippy on its own, you can find a link to his SoundCloud in the About page of this channel under FAQ, Facts and Questions for the music that we listen to. However, if you use the same spelling and spaces as seen on screen, you can find them on Bandcamp, YouTube, Spotify. Those are all official places he posts his music. It's pretty easy to figure out who is the official poster on YouTube and Spotify. Of course, you can use the link to the SoundCloud, but it's also pretty easy. There are verification check marks, and on YouTube they have a specific system for artists within their system. Excuse me. I think soon I'm going to change the links for Jippy so they're all there. Bandcamp, I think, is where he posts his majority of his music. Then he slowly trickles it down into Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. A lot of his music's on SoundCloud. He's got some newer tracks out on SoundCloud right now. So if you want to listen to it on your own time, please do so through the link in the About page. Other than that, let us begin. So I'm going to turn down Jippy even a little bit more so it isn't so loud. We are playing episode 4, 5, and 6 today. We're starting with episode 4, of course. Episode 4 being Gateway Shuffle. I can post the links in chat once more. I will do actually exactly that. Here. I'll do exactly that so you guys can do this pretty quickly. So I have Netflix, Funimation, and Adult Swim labeled out here for you. Of course, you don't have to use those specific links or watch Cowboy Bebop that way. It is just there. You can do so as you please. I'll show the screen real quick. Oh no, it's not showing up on the chat box. Weird. Of course, you can use any other link that you want. I will say, for the benefit of Twitch, that it's always a good idea to support the artists in any way you can. So if you're going to use an alternative means of watching the series, just keep that in mind, that you're not really helping matters with the creators. So personally, if you can watch it through Netflix, Funimation, or Adult Swim, please do so. The only issue with watching it through Funimation in a series such as this, a Watchalong series, is there is ads in Funimation. So there may be moments where you don't catch up with us exactly. In those moments, we do talk a bit at the end of the episode, and we do leave the full intro going and the full outro going. So maybe you can skip those to get through and make sure the ads don't stop you from continuing the watch along with us, but that I haven't truly figured out. After this watch along, which one are we going to do? I've talked about doing Drifters because I really enjoyed Drifters and I'd like for more people to know about that series. We can give it a go. When? Maybe we can make Saturdays be our watch along times. I'm not sure. It's a type of stream where I'm really not doing anything except for talking. And we got podcasts and the dev updates and all the other videos on the YouTube channel that are just that. So, I don't know. And the streams don't get crazy views. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys let me know what you want to do, what you think is best. You can do so obviously in the chat when I'm live, but of course my Twitter is in the About section of the channel. I don't think it's under FAQ, but it's there. You also find a link to the main YouTube channel as well, and then from there you can find a link to the live stream YouTube channel where we upload all the VODs. Because right now, while we're not affiliate, the VODs disappear after a week, so they all have to be put somewhere else. And so I put them on YouTube. The majority of them are on YouTube. The early day streams are obviously not on YouTube yet. Or, not yet. They never will be because they're gone. which is sad. You missed out on a few Minecraft streams, and that's about it. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. Obviously, we're starting off with episode 4, as I mentioned, which is Gateway Shuffle. I apologize. I'm actually going to blow my nose real quick. I'm going to be right back, just so I stop stimbling on stream. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So as I mentioned, we're watching episode 4. Let me try to remember what... So we've seen both Faye and Ein join the tables. I don't think Ed joins until a little bit later. I don't think this is the episode that they join in. Anyways, it's episode 4. I'm going to count down to 3 before we start, so get ready. We're not skipping intros, we're not skipping outros. You're obviously not going to be able to hear the series. You're going to have to watch it on a separate monitor or a separate tab. If you want to watch it along with me, with us. I'm going to have Jippy a little bit open, just so it's for the people who aren't going to watch along with me. It shouldn't be too loud for Jippy. Anyways, so episode 4, obviously season 1, there's only one season in the series. On 3, 1, 2, 3, let's start. Once again, we're watching through the intro, we're watching through the outro, start to finish, no stop. I've still yet to watch the live action adaptation of the series. I was never truly excited to watch it, but personally, everything that I have seen, read, and keep in mind that I haven't actually seen the show, it seemed interesting and promising to a degree, but I never at any point expected the adaptation to be what Cowboy Bebop was, or even really a proper interpretation. Because you can't, it's an entirely different medium. You can't translate most anime to live action. It just doesn't really work. There's a lot of restrictions in live action, I think is the appropriate word. Whereas there's very few in animation. Think about the intro alone. We're looking at spaceships, components of spaceships. You know, there's a lot of shit going on. I think they fucked up on Ed, though. The fucking bits I've seen of Ed, I was annoyed. That was the only thing that pissed me off. Is this the episode? I'm trying to remember what episode Gateway Shuffle would be. I always like the design of the ships. There's a lot of texture. Man, this would be really fucked up in real life. A situation like this. Being forced to drift around a planet. What the fuck happens in this episode? God, I love the fucking music. I love Seatbelts. Seatbelts is really nice. I mean, I have the record for the whole series, so if that doesn't speak some level of volume over how much I like it. This scene alone, you can't make this in live action unless you have fucking stupid money. 20 Woolongs for a lobster. This isn't the chess piece episode. What the fuck is this episode? Ah, I don't fucking... Okay, I know what this is. It's the Sea Rat episode. Man, the whole fucking like face shifting and morphing or whatever the fuck the surgery that much the character undergoes is fucking crazy. Fucking sea rats, it looks so gross. Mm. Ew. The logo is so gross. Did they literally kill everyone except for Jet and Spike? Hmm. I enjoy this episode, but it's definitely different to the rest of the series. There's a lot of shit going on here. I like how they add. There's so much shit in the series. There's a fucking family photo that guy's got. Sea rat is no good to eat. You like rat? Pretty sure the sea rat is supposed to be for dolphins. Warriors of Peace and killed everyone in that fucking room. Not even an ounce of truth to that. Yeah, I remember this episode now. Hmm. So much texture. There's so much detail in this series. Like everything feels like it works. Like buttons don't feel like edges, corners, pieces. Everything doesn't seem all fucked up. Like it's there with a purpose. Freeze dried what? Why would that guy have one of those fucking things? I like the design as well of the sci-fi stuff on the consoles. It's reminiscent of a lot of older sci-fi, which I always liked. The kind of like polygon shit going on. Mr. President. President what? It's a fucking, like, water island. Illegal eye drops. Even the design of that, like, fucking, like, pill bottle thing or whatever is interesting. Never watched the sub or the Japanese version. I wonder how much of a difference there is. Is she laughing because she's being let go, or because she was nearly turned into a fucking monkey? I like the transport tubes as well. It's an interesting design. The wraparound thing. Could you not blow them out of the air? Like, the virus can't spread in space. Hmm. I wonder who those other monkeys are. If they're the peaceful people that were mentioned earlier that were with that organization. If that's what's being implied. And the wasteland sector is just a bunch of fucking garbage heaps. From where? Where is all this shit coming from? Oh, dead monkeys. I think where the series works really well is it has a lot of the same things that Ghibli movies have. Is that they have moments where the series breathes, like there's just life. I like how even the broadcasting and like the interactions over video and calls and everything, even that shit's fucked like it is now. Makes sense. Hyperspace. Is that their explanation for why the quality is so shit? Or why are they able to call? Why are they able to connect to shit in hyperspace? Hmm. Why tie up the fucking dog? What's Iron fucking do? I think there's a bit of the soundtrack for Disenchantment has a little bit of similarities to the Seatbelt album. So if you like the seatbelts, you might like some of that stuff, maybe. I don't think Disenchantment is anything like Cowboy Bebop. I just think the music is kind of similar in some regards. I like the design of the swordfish. Even the weapons. Nope, bit of lag there. Or on my end, there was lag. Scuffed. I like how the government solution doesn't revolve around Spike and Faye, because the government doesn't have any fucking clue that those two people are in there. Like, the government isn't being pricks for doing this, because they'd be dead, by the way, if they get stuck in hyperspace. They don't explain that outright, but they'd be absolutely fucked. Because look, they'll show you in a second what happens. Did they not expect them to close the fucking gate? Again, watching the outro. Don't fucking skip the episode. Watch the credits. Ugh. That's a good episode. It's different than the rest of the series. Trying to think if there's any other episodes that are similar to that. I think it just has, every episode has something good about it. Like, there's good world building in this episode. Like, that alone is sufficient enough for me to say that this is a good episode. But of course, there's good, like, character dynamics going on, but especially between Faye and the crew. That being Ian, Spike, and Jet. what's also nice about the series, the outro gives you shit. I think that needs to be done more often. I think right now a lot of anime does this shit, or even just TV shows. They reveal too much in the intro, where they should be revealing some stuff in the outro. And the shit that's being revealed in the outro for Cowboy Bebop, we don't see anyways. We never see shit. Oh shit, this is an episode where we get some mainstream shit. Oh, it's episode fucking 5. This is my favorite episode. Episode 5 is my favorite. Ballad for Fallen Angels, boys. And my favorite episode, so all the way through. Next episode, please. Not skipping the intro. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Move on to episode 5, which is my favorite episode. As I mentioned, Ballad of Fallen Angels. I like this episode. It's a little bit more generic in terms of its story structure, I would say. Or at the very least, I would say there's an argument to say that it's a little bit more generic. It revolves around the main plot, which is interesting. You get some main plot bits from this. I think Cowboy Bebop does a nice balance of not telling you too much and just kind of letting you fill in the gaps. I think that's why it's become so popular, is it knows how to balance telling the story and letting its audience find out or interpret the story. I think a lot of good series allow for interpretation, and I think there are a lot of bad series, I would say, that allow too much interpretation, too much opinions that can be made that would also be valid for a series. I think with Cowboy Bebop, there's enough where you can think that the crew goes one way or the history of the crew is another or whatever. I think there's a good balance there, because there's foundations being set up for what has happened to Spike in this episode and what's happened to the world, and when they talk about the mafia and stuff like that, what's going on. I think there's a good balance there. I think that later on we get some nice episodes that are a little bit too revealing maybe for Faye, but I guess Faye isn't the main character, and she's like sort of a deuter antagonist, if anything, maybe, I don't know. I think calling her a side character is unfair, but I think they reveal a little bit too much about her. There's still a past before what we see about her in a later episode, but I think Ed, they do really well. There's enough there for Ed to be whatever you want to say Ed is. Same with Ein. You can interpret Ein as just a smart dog, or you can interpret Ein as an incredibly intelligent, like hyper-aware, like character. Like he knows what's going on all the time. He has a solution, but he can't express it. You know, like there's different ways of interpreting all the characters, which I like. I think what I've seen from Netflix, the way they do Jet is pretty good. Again, I haven't seen the adaptation one. Anyways, I think that's enough preamble after watching episode 4. So let's continue into episode 5. I'm going to do a countdown to 3, and on 3 I'll hit play. Obviously, you need to do the same. So we're starting from the very beginning. We're not skipping the intro, and again, we're not skipping the outro. So 1, 2, 3, and I've hit play. We're good. I like the CRT effect, the kind of flicker you get in the intro. I don't think the design or maybe for some people the intro is might be a weak point. I'm thinking now, because the aesthetic or the visual aesthetic, the design choices for the intro don't match up all that well with the actual series as a whole. even the way shit is shown, like shot sequences wise, like we never get a full view, I think, of Hammerhead, which is Jet's ship. Like, that's just one example. We see Hammerhead completely in full in the intro. I don't know. I guess I see wiggle room for that being a weak point. But I think that can apply to everything, really. So who wouldn't even argue that? I've always liked the sketchiness, the textural sketchiness of the intro. Again, texture is really nice. I like texture in the series. It's pleasant. I think that's what's missing in a lot of modern anime is texture. Excuse me. Red Dragon Clan. Scuffed. What was the point? Watching this episode for the first time, I imagine is feels very different. It's incredibly unique to the rest of the series, I would say. I like how they've been together for like so fucking long and know nothing about each other. I like Jed's boots, but I can't figure out if those would be comfortable or not. They're just giant, like, metal work boots, basically. I also like the way that swordfish folds up. $28 million because he killed a crime boss. Nah. Zipcraft. Peepoo. Peepoo. Kind of like a nice smokiness to the scene. Where the colors bleed together is smoky. It's hazed. Like how we're shown how that guy knows the shit that he was telling Jet. Did they put a rat out in hopes that they would get Spike? Where that little black kid with the red cap is supposedly the original design of Ed. So, again, more points towards my theory that fucking Ed shouldn't be a fucking white kid with like a ginger fucking carpet for hair like the live action adaptation did. Eenie. What is this store? Porn and fucking guns? What is this place? I think there's a little bit of weird ambiguity in some of like locations. Like there was that weird place that we first saw Faye in. It was like a smoke shack with a bunch of random fucking trinkets in it. I still don't really know what that con shop is, though I have seen shops like that in real life. Vicious. So is this an under-the-counter gun shop? I don't understand what that fucking bird thing is. Jericho. Personal biz. I always like Jet. He's the closest to a perfect character. Like, you can't look up to any of these characters. They're all fucking twisted in some way. But Jet's got some kind of a level-headedness. He's got something going on. Look how he instantly fucking knows that that's Vicious doing that shit. I like the track for this episode. It's really pleasant. I like the haziness of this episode. I think that's done intentionally for story reasons. I think the visuals connect quite nicely with how the story is being played out. Beast who lost his fangs. think there's any cheesy in-combat one-liners in this series. I kind of appreciate that. I think that wasn't commonplace then, and it's very commonplace now. Where does she intend on going? I think there's a good meme for how many times fucking Spike gets shot in the stomach. I think Jet is too heavy-headed at first. I think that's one of the reasons why he's like a little bit like he's not perfect. I think that gunshot wound is gonna hurt a lot fucking more than that samurai stab or whatever the fuck that shit is. So much story in this episode, so much of the main plot, and you don't even fucking realize it. You don't really know. Maybe that could be a disconnect for some people that are just started watching the series. Try not to talk too much to ruin it for people that are watching it. I like how this episode shows that they care for each other. This episode's good. Good for character development, like for everyone. It shows how much Faye gives a shit, like what she was willing to do. You know, she cares for people. She stays there for the 3 days, even though she's, up until this point, we've seen her as just being someone who's like money hungry asshole. We see Jet as a failure that he keeps with him. We learn later that failure that he keeps with them is like even more grand. We know what it is later, obviously, but we're also told that like he doesn't. I won't spoil it. There are key parts in this episode that are all played out really nicely later on in later episodes. I think the series does a good job at letting it, like, you know, roll. Like, they don't tell you everything. You're like, point A, point B, point C, point... You know, it's like, here's part of the story. A few more episodes, character development, story building, world building. Here's a little bit more story. World building, character development, introductions, etc., and then more story at the end. You know, it doesn't fill you with everything. It doesn't give you all the answers at once. I understand how that would annoy some people. I think this series came out at a really good time in history. I think it was a time where people were more interested in that kind of story. I think maybe Cowboy Bebop wouldn't work as well now. I'm not sure. Oh, absolutely love this fucking episode. This is also a really good episode. Really good fucking world building. This is a good episode to end the fucking stream on, I think. Hold on, how long have we been gone? Yeah, alright. We got our last episode coming up. It's episode 6, which is Sympathy for the Devil. It's really good. One of my favorite episodes. I mean, I love every episode, but Sympathy for the Devil is really fucking good. There's good character development and world building in this episode. I think the world building is really good. Kind of gives you an idea of how the fiction and shit works in this. How elements are seen as normal up until this point, but are actually incredibly dangerous. I think it's really good. I think it gives good character development for Spike, especially. I think it's really good. The soundtrack's really good for this episode too. Alright, so on the count of 3, obviously at 3 I'm going to hit play. So let's get started. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Of course, we're watching through the intro, as per usual. No skipping intro. Close my window before my fucking toes freeze off. So yeah, the next series we'll do will probably be Drifters. I don't know when. I know a good bit about Drifters. I know a lot of shit for the characters in the series at this point. So I probably might have more to be able to talk about in terms of like background information for that series than I do for Bebop. Bebop, I just kind of have opinions that I can say. But I don't know. Maybe that's not exactly what people want. You guys let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I enjoy these streams, but I know that there's not a whole lot going on. So I know that. I'm trying my hardest not to talk about shit in the moment that they're happening. Because I know, there's going to be some lag in when I say, ooh, that was a cool scene, and then you have to wait a couple seconds to catch up or something like that. I think this yeah, more character development. Such crazy shit in this episode. Seeing Vicious fucks them all up. This song's called Digging My Potato, by the way. It's really good. It's got a good atmosphere to it. I think one of the things that Bebop has going for it that other series don't is the way that music flows into the series. Music flows with the characters, flows with the episode and the story. Hunting dog. She sounds to a fucking corgi. See what I mean? These aren't characters to look up to. I think it's implied that Fatty is a fucking a fisherman. That's a fucking meme. I like that one. Listen to the blues, even when I was in my father's shack. That's a good one. If you don't get that, that sucks. See the way the fucking music flows with the episode? The rhythms play together really well. I think that is being achieved by the fact that Seatbelts was unique to Cowboy Bebop. Like, it wasn't a track made and then put in. It was they were being harmonized together. They were not two parts put into one, but one whole part. I think that's how that was achieved, and why a lot of series don't achieve the same thing. But that said, the music works really well on its own anyways. Even if you don't have memories of the episodes, like I do, or some other people that really enjoyed Cowboy Bebop when it first came out. I replied to a text real quick. Oof. man. Oh no, I paused. Sorry. I paused for like a second there. Whoops. What was the fucking bounty on this guy again? What was the price? That's horseshit, Jet. Men live by honor. This series does not really reflect that. Spike is constantly just telling Jet to fuck off and doing his own shit. And so is Faye, and so is Jet, really. Even Ed and 9 are doing that shit all the time. And they're not even... What did I get? A whole different thing. Another fucking dude in a wheelchair with him. Damn, Spike just recovered from getting fucking sliced up. The eye catchers for this series are pleasant too. They roll well. like how in this series you can't really fully tell when stuff's happening, when it's backstory shit like this. It could be any time, really. Could still be our future, you know. Could be 100 years from now. Hyper fucked up. Yeah, see, Hypergate still fucking existed. But you did this before? What a weird looking gun. Or it probably just looks weird in the kid's hands. Imagine that would fuck you up, even if that kid's like the fucking devil in disguise. That's what I'm talking about, character development. Up until this point, Spike seemed like the character that kind of knew everything. Like he had composure, and you've given him weakness in this episode, which I think is really well done. I think they're on Mars, by the way. Not sure though. See? Fucking Spike apologizing. It's character development. And it's not main plot that's forcing this. Or it could be, but not completely. I mean, you knew he got fucking shot. I wouldn't be so crazy surprised about this shit. How would that function? That crystal's got to be fucking dead hard. But it has to be malleable to a degree. See, another episode where we show that they give a shit about each other. The whole crew gives a shit about each other. Even Jet, so he's giving fucking Spike a ciggy. One thing that's good about them is that when they're given, like, we're the only ones that can do this kind of situations, or we're the only ones that know kind of situations, they get shit done. They still do the shit. It's interesting that there's so many different models of cars. Like none of the main characters drive fucking cars, but there's enough variation in the cars. Like we saw with Ein's introduction, a car that operates on a still traditional steering wheel, and this one's being operated with a single like handheld stick, basically. What a pea shooter. It's fucked up to shoot him in the head. Such fucked world building. I can imagine this episode giving people fucking nightmares for sure. Especially when it first aired. Biggest fuck you in the whole series is throwing that fucking kids, or the devil's fucking harmonica into the air. Good episode. But also marks the end of today's stream. We're going to be back on Tuesday from 10 to 12. We're probably going to play Project Zomboid again. I'm really addicted to that game right now. I think it's really well balanced and really fun. We could try playing multiplayer at some point. Maybe set up a multiplayer for the Kingdom and have you guys join in. I think the game is pretty cheap right now. I had no problem buying it. It's one of the few times where I saw the game, a game that I thought would be interesting, and bought it right away. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, if you want to watch Cowboy Bebop on your own, use the links I provided in the chat. You can find it on Netflix, Funimation, and Adult Swim. Obviously, it's region locked to certain places, but Netflix is a good medium for that. Funimation has ads, but, you know, that's more of a direct contact, I suppose, with the animation studio. Of course, Netflix has the live-action adaptation that you could watch as well. Maybe we'll do that again, but I do think the next watch-along we'll do will be Drifters, just because I really want to introduce that series to more people. Like, I'm serious about that. It's a really good series. Other than that, I would suggest you guys keep watching the series. We've watched through 6 episodes together. There's about 24 episodes, something like that, in total. So why not just watch the rest? It's pretty good. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Episode 7 is really good, though. It's the Prairie Oyster episode. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one.
I want you to be with me.